In this video, we will discuss the cylindrical shell method. In this problem, the revolution axis, I put that on the x-axis. So since x-axis is horizontal, then the integral is a dy integral. So let's take a look at the function. We have xy equals to 1, x equals to 0, y equals to 1, and y equals to 3. So since we will be using a dy integral, then we have to put xy equals to 1 as x equals to 1 divided by y, and the graph is over there. So if you need help with graphing x equals to some y function, to be honest, I don't know how to do this on TI-84 graphing calculator. If you know how to do it, write a comment below, let other people know how to do it. Every time I graph this x in terms of y function, I will use an app called Decimal, D-E-S-M-O. Decimal, I don't think there is an S, Decimal. It is free. You can either do this, you can download this on App Store, Play Store, or you can Google it and then use that on your computer. It's completely free for iOS and Android. Okay, back to this problem. X equals to 1 over y, just like the reciprocal function. And then we have y equals to 3, a green line, y equals to 1, the red line, and x equals to 0, which is on the y-axis. By the way, when you solve volume problem, you have to be aware that x-axis is y equals to 0, y-axis is x equals to 0. And one other thing that I wrote, which is I have to correct, is if this problem is solved using the this or washes method, so that will be a dx integral if you use this or washes method. Okay, let's quickly go over the concept of shell method. So we have the integral from lower limit to upper limit a to b, and then 2 pi r. What is 2 pi r? So 2 pi r, if you look at the picture, 2 pi r is the base of a two-dimensional rectangle. If you roll this up, you get a circle, right? So if you put it on the table, then the 2 pi r is the base of the rectangle, and the height is the height of the rectangle. So 2 pi r times height, that gives you the area of a rectangle, a two-dimensional object. Once you multiply the thickness, the dx or dy, depending on the revolution axis, then you have a three-dimensional object. And then the a to b determines how big the volume is. All right, so back to this problem. First thing is we will have to draw a rectangle, right? So the rectangle, let's do it in another color. We will be using the what is that called, the midpoint rule. So we draw a point, and then we take that as a midpoint, draw another point right there, take that as a midpoint, and then this is how we create our rectangle. All right, and then the next thing is we will have to determine the radius. So what is the radius? The radius is the distance between a y in the region and the revolution axis. So since the region is above the revolution axis, then we will be using y minus 0. To be clear, this is any y in the region minus the x-axis, which is y equals to 0. So this y equals to 0 is the x-axis. So that is the radius. All right, and then what about the height? The height is the top curve minus the bottom curve, but we don't have top curve and bottom curves right here. So we have a right curve and a left curve. So on the right hand side, we have the reciprocal function 1 over y, and then on the left hand side, we have the y-axis, which is x equals to 0. So we have 1 over y minus 0. So to be specific, this is right minus left. And then to be even more specific, you have x equals to 1 over y, and then minus x equals to 0. Okay, so the radius is ready, the height is ready. Let's go ahead, find the volume. So y goes from where to where? Y goes from 1 to 3, right? And then we have 2 pi radius. The radius is y minus 0. Do not simplify that, because 2 days from now, when I come back to my notes, I need to know exactly what I wrote 2 days ago. And then the height is 1 over y minus 0. And then the thickness is a dy. So that's the integral. to find the volume using shell method. I know there are plenty of what if. The what if is we change the position of the revolution axis. So let me give you the what if. So the first what if that I would like to demonstrate is I want to do a spinning right here. So this is about what? So let's pick a number. How about y equals to 15? How's that? And then let's put 1 on the bottom. Use another color. So how about here? So what y values do you want to use? How about y equals to -7? How's that? So let's take care of this what if. So allow me to cut the picture and then not cut the picture, copy the picture. So we are going to copy the picture and then bring it down below so I can work on that right here. So let's take care of the blue first, shall we? So let's take care of the blue first. If the revolution axis is y equals to 15, how does that affect the radius? So the radius will be top minus bottom. So this time will be the 15 minus any y in the region. So this is y equals to 15 minus any y in the region. So that is the radius. What about the top and bottom, the height? The height, does that change the height? The answer is no. The height is still right curve minus left curve. So right minus left. So that is equals to, the right curve is the reciprocal function. The left curve is x equals to 0. So this is x equals to the reciprocal function minus x equals to 0. So we have the volume equals to 1 to 3 and then 2 pi 15 minus y times the height and then over dy. So that is the first what if. Let's take care of the purple what if. Y equals to 7. How does that affect the radius? So top minus bottom. So this time will be any y minus y equals to -7. So this is any y in the region bounded by those bounded by the given function minus y equals to -7. And then the height, no change. Is still the right curve minus the left curve, which is the reciprocal function minus 0. So this is y equals to, no, not y equals to, this is x equals to 1 over y minus x equals to 0. And then we set up the integral volume. Y goes from 1 to 3, and then we have 2 pi radius y minus -7. Do not simplify that. And then 1 over y minus 0, and this is over dy. Okay, so that is what if the revolution axis is y equals to -7. And that is the end of this video. I don't want to make the video too long, so I will solve the next problem in the next video. If you think my instruction is helpful, let me know in the comment below. Like the video, share the video for me, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Thank you for your help and support. See you all in the next one. Signing out for now.